Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
What's up, everybody? It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro on a Tuesday. So glad you could join us. Oh, yeah, we have a lot to get to. We're going to get to the caucus here in a few minutes. Julia Manchester she's a political reporter from The Hill. Oh, my God, what a mess. What a mess in Iowa. We will get to that here in just a few minutes. A lot to get to in regards to Rush Limbaugh. A lot of people on the right are, putting their feelings out there and feeling sorrow for Rush Limbaugh. Well, guess what? I'm not feeling sorry for Rush at all. We will get to that and the reasons why I will not be shedding a tear for Rush Limbaugh, who just announced he has lung cancer. We'll be getting to that at the bottom of the hour. Coming up in hour number 3, Frank Marino, of course, you remember the show Divas in Las Vegas. Well, now he is going to be the MC of Legends in Concert. He's a guy that's been performing here in Vegas for a number of years. I think longer than I've been alive, actually. So Marino will be joining us in studio. And then this is a really cool story. It's the connection. We had Oscar Goodman on the show last week talking about what Kobe Bryant meant to Las Vegas. Well, a woman by the name of Jennifer Miller Gonzalez, she's had interactions with Kobe Bryant, and she's going to talk to us about what Kobe meant to women's basketball in Las Vegas, specifically adult women's basketball leagues. That's right. Kobe was a big part of that. So she's going to come in and talk to us about her interactions with Kobe and how he helped pave the way for women's basketball here in Las Vegas. It really is a touching story. And a great one. But as I mentioned, it was caucus chaos yesterday in Iowa. We still don't have the results to try to make sense of all this. Very happy to have Julia Manchester. She is a political reporter for The Hill who joins us right now on the line. Julia, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm good. A little tired, but good.
How late were you up last night covering this thing?
So I stayed up till about 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but then I had to get up at 3 a.m. for a television hit to chat more about the Iowa caucuses. But I didn't miss much in between because we still don't have the results.
Yeah, let's talk about that because, I don't even think it's an argument. This is the biggest day for the Democratic Party, since the elections between Hillary and Trump. I mean, this was a huge day. How the heck did they find a way to screw it up? What is their explanation?
So their explanation is that essentially that a phone app the precincts were relying on to transfer those results didn't function properly and is, partially responsible for the ongoing delay in results. They also cited some reporting errors. That's the official, response from the Iowa Democratic Party. But you have a lot of campaigns, namely the Biden campaign, whose general counsel sent a letter to the Iowa Democratic Party last night, are really just demanding more in-depth answers. We're hearing that the Democratic Party in the state is supposed to hold a bit of a conference call or meeting with representatives from the campaign. So we should potentially find out the goings-on of that meeting shortly. But, yeah, lots of questions about that campaign. I would say another campaign that is probably a bit angry with how this all played out is the Sanders campaign. Remember, the Sanders campaign, according to polling, was really supposed to hit this one out of the park after, polling so well and essentially nearly winning the caucus 4 years ago. So a lot of unhappy campaign officials this morning.
I mean, listen, I think the Democratic Party, they should be criticized for this. I think it's inexcusable when you talk about an app. And by the way, let me ask you this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this app supposed to be used in a couple weeks in Nevada? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I would assume it's not going to be used.
Yeah, I think it was originally supposed to be used, but now I think they're definitely, backtracking on that or trying to troubleshoot it. Remember, this all comes really as the United States, as well as a number of other democracies around the world, have to deal with the issue of hacking and technical errors that could make us very vulnerable to any foreign enemies or foreign adversaries, really. In 2016, obviously, there were Russian efforts to interfere in the U.S. elections. Intelligence agencies say that will continue in 2020 as it continued in 2018. So this comes at a very concerning time, I think, in the hacking world, and as tensions really continue to rise with, countries like Russia or China. So very concerning, I think, for voters, knowing that, this could lead to our systems or voting systems being so vulnerable.
It's amazing that you look at Afghanistan and some of these other countries around the world, they have no problem tallying votes. Why can't we get it right in this country? That's the sentiment I'm hearing, not necessarily from people on the right, but from people on the left.
I got to say, I am from the state of Florida, and I remember 2000 as an elementary school kid. So I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's really a constant problem in the United States. And we're supposed to be so sophisticated. We have access to this technology and all of these resources, but we keep getting it wrong. And, if we're going to tout ourselves as a leading democracy in the world, then our election results and our election processes definitely have to reflect that as well.
Absurd. She is Julia Manchester, a political reporter for The Hill. She was up till 1 a.m. covering the caucus chaos, which is trending on Twitter. Okay, Julia, here's something else that I noticed that was trending on Twitter this morning. Tom Perez resign. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the DNC is taking quite a bit of fire on a number of issues. I mean, this is definitely more of, an Iowa Democratic Party issue, but that would fall under, I think, the umbrella or is connected to the Democratic National Committee and such. But Tom Perez is also getting a lot of pushback for, the DNC essentially changing the rules. So Michael Bloomberg could potentially appear on stage. The DNC over the past couple of months has also gotten pushback for, these debate thresholds that a number of candidates of color, such as, Cory Booker or Julian Castro, who have since dropped out, they weren't able to get in. So now that Bloomberg could potentially qualify for these debates, there's a lot of people scratching their heads and some outrage saying you have two billionaires essentially on stage right now and questioning whether that is actually representative of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I don't think it is, and I certainly don't want another billionaire to represent the Democratic Party. That's just my personal opinion. All right, Julia, so when are these results, all of them, what are they saying? When are they all going to come out?
Well, we're thinking they will definitely come out sometime today, but we will definitely, we're keeping an eye on it. There's supposed to be some sort of, like I said, a conference call, but we haven't gotten any, official clue as to when they will come out.
Gosh, that is just absurd. Well, you're doing a great job covering this. Makes it a little bit more difficult for reporters like yourself, but we certainly appreciate you getting up early and talking to us. Hope you get some rest, Julia, and I hope these results come out sooner than later, but we really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, there you go. Julia Manchester, political reporter for The Hill. Yeah, she makes a good point back in 2000 when it was George Bush and Al Gore. We all remember that, right? I was 20 years old. And that was a mess in Florida. Why can't the Democrats get it right here? This is a joke. This was the biggest day for the Democratic Party, really, in several years. Make no mistake about it. And we still don't know the results. Absolutely absurd and a disgrace and an embarrassment. I don't care whether it's the left or the right. We should be able to tally up votes within a few hours. This is just not cool, man. It's not cool. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have some unbelievable audio of a voter in the caucus who was going to vote for Pete Buttigieg, and she's now not voting for Pete Buttigieg because she found out he was gay. That's right. Newsflash, Pete Buttigieg is gay. This audio is just unbelievable. It is insane, and we're going to play it for you when we come back. This is why I believe there should be an IQ test for anybody who votes. I don't care if it's a caucus, general election, whatever it may be. This audio is priceless, and we're going to play it for you coming up next. You're listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDON.